The most common things that we prescribe medication for in dogs are aggression and anxiety disorders. Yeah, Prozac works great on dogs.
You heard it right, doggy Prozac, a beef-flavored version of the well-known human antidepressant, government approved and being prescribed by veterinarians for canines in crisis.
There is a significant population of dogs that really have suffering from separation anxiety.
The drug company, one of the largest, is banking on that. They believe up to 17% of U.S. dogs are suffering from this mental affliction. It's an idea some would scoff at.
I definitely understand being skeptical.
So is this really a quest to help feisty Fidos, or is it a sign of this?
Companies desperate to keep up their profit margin and doing things to keep the margin up, even though the number of new drugs that are important in the pipeline has diminished.
It turns out those companies don't need doggy drugs in order for critics to make that case. Medical researchers crunched the numbers and found the pharmaceutical industry now tops the defense industry as the #1 defrauder of the U.S. government.
That was a finding that I didn't expect. No one had really ever looked at it before, and it shows you how out of control, really, the pharmaceutical industry is.
In some cases, criminally out of control, perhaps helping this industry go from selling $40 billion to $234 billion a year in prescription drugs. Over the last 2 decades, companies have been cheating and endangering patients. Their biggest violations are overcharging the government by billions and illegally marketing their drugs for uses they aren't proven safe or effective for. We're outside the world headquarters of one of the largest offenders. One of the biggest criminal penalties ever levied against any American corporation involved this drug giant, Pfizer. Their illegal practices included essentially hiring physicians to spread buzz about a drug, telling their colleagues to prescribe it for a condition it wasn't approved for.
Drug pushers is a not unfair way of describing them.
I've had difficulty achieving orgasm.
And when it comes to the drug companies, disease pushers may not be an unfair way of describing them either. That's what one filmmaker found, tracing a newly minted disorder.
Female sexual dysfunction itself was definitely something that the pharmaceutical industry really pushed for and had a hand in creating.
That's the conclusion Canner came to after following the process of a drug company developing female Viagra. She says only a small number of women need it, but the company has other plans.
Their marketing and the amount of money that they were pouring into it really says that they're trying to sell this to the whole population.
Restless leg syndrome?
And with commercials for prescription drugs airing on TV in the U.S., companies are in a position to do just that.
You feel better.
With billions being made and not much to lose, critics say even in the case of crime, for this industry, nothing is likely to change.
Unless people go to jail, unless the fines are much larger than they have been, the companies will find that it's cheaper to cheat.
Stopping short of nothing to find some syndrome, someone, or something new to medicate. Lauren Lyster, RT, New York.